So you may have seen on my Instagram stories, or indeed the last video that I uploaded on this channel, that I recently just came back from my dream trip to now my all-time favourite country, and that is Japan. It's the first time that I actually have visited Japan, and honestly I can very strongly say it will not be my last. Obviously in my trip I wanted to go and see all of the sights, experience all the delicious food, and of course while out there, what is also very well known in Japan, especially for this community that we have here on this channel, is that of luxury shopping. Now before going to Japan I didn't really know how big the luxury shopping industry was until, I must say, I saw it with my own two eyes. It's a big industry over there, and it's honestly changed the way that I think about luxury. But the reason I give you this whole spiel is because honestly I was not intending to, on my trip to Japan, buy any handbags, least of all any bags from, I guess you could say, the vintage or pre-loved markets. However, I must say that Japan is truly an exception to the rule, and I'll explain that in another video that I'll do on this channel. It's completely changed the way that I view luxury shopping, and actually I'm so excited to share what has been probably the most unexpected purchase that I have made in my handbag career. Nonetheless, I'm still really happy with it, and I got it for a steal of a price. I'm going to unbox for you the wonderful new addition to my handbag collection, and indeed my Chanel collection, because of course it is another Chanel handbag. And as I mentioned, it's more of an unbagging because we just have the dust bag here. Sadly, I did have the box and everything. I even have the care card in front of me with the mitt and the booklet, but coming from Japan back to the UK, I'd already bought an extra suitcase while out there, the Don Quixote. Who knows? If you know, you know. I had a lot of snacks on the way back that I wanted to bring, and I just had to prioritise. Sadly, the box couldn't come with me, but then again, I have a lot of Chanel boxes. It's a surprise even to me that I got this bag. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, but I'm so glad I managed to stumble upon this beautiful Chanel shopping tote. And I don't know the proper Chanel name for this bag. I've been searching online to find out what the model of it is. It's in caviar leather, as you can probably tell, very, very pebbled. It's got champagne gold hardware, and isn't she an absolute beauty? I will just take you for the 360, and I will also include shots for close-ups, or even actually with outside light, because obviously I've got artificial at the moment that I'm filming it, but it's a true black. Little bit of shimmer, as you can probably tell, so it might give it a bit of a grey look in the different lights, but it's a true black, and I just love the champagne gold hardware. It's super shiny. But what you may notice, actually, potentially maybe not from this distance, but when you see on the close-up, you'll actually notice that the hardware stickers are actually still on the bag. You can see as I bring this bag close to you that the CC turn lock still has its stickers, and actually when I show you the inside, it's absolutely immaculate, and it also has the stickers on the inside turn lock mechanism, and actually on the zip pull here at the back pocket there is also stickers, and that is because this bag has never been used, which is why I wanted to caveat, I used to have kind of opinions around buying pre-loved bags. To an extent I still do. It would be my preference that I make those kind of marks and imperfections myself. However, I did not know until I touched down in Japan and walked the streets myself that they had a whole industry there, and they're basically all in immaculate condition, and that these pre-loved luxury shops actually sold items that have never actually been used, like this bag over here. So obviously this is quite a big bag. It's a lot bigger than, if you've watched my Chanel collection videos in the past, then the bags that I have are, I guess, pretty much on the small to medium size. It actually does fit, and I have tried this, a 13-inch laptop inside. Obviously I would not use this as a work bag, but I suppose some people who may not need to bring heavy laptops all the time, or just want something that is kind of fuss-free, works throughout the day and is quite elegant, this is a good option. I don't have many of these tote bag style handbags, and actually, like I mentioned, I wasn't really planning to add one of these, but it is such a functional bag, and when I just take you through all of the specs now, you'll see why it was so appealing. It's a very much a workhorse bag, and it's very good quality. It's rugged caviar leather. It's also really easy to get in and out of because you've got this turn lock closure at the top, and that secures the bag from just being kind of like an open cabin because there's no zips or anything inside. We also, of course, have the shoulder strap handles. It's got the very classic interwoven leather chains, similar to the classic flaps, but they also have thought of the leather shoulder strap, and I think that's really good from a comfort perspective because obviously this bag can get quite heavy. It's a full leather bag. Then when you go inside, hopefully you'll be able to see that those shoulder straps are fastened with these kind of T-bar fastenings here, and that goes also for the other side too. Then when you look further inside, it is a big cabin in the middle, so that's good in terms of obviously putting in all your belongings and the kitchen sink. What you'll notice though, some of the extra features which I do think are quite thoughtful for Chanel. I wasn't honestly expecting this kind of level of detail from them, but you've got this kind of, I guess it's like a ring that you can attach to like coin purses, wallets, or spare keys and things like that, and other knickknacks with, which I think is quite a nice touch. Then you've got, for organisation anyway, 2 pockets on this side, and you've actually also got the new authenticity kind of bar inside. There's no authenticity card, and that has its original sticker on as well, which is great. So you've got open pockets here and here, and then at the back you have just one big zip compartment. It's very, very roomy, and all of that is in leather. There's no fabric at all, which I'm honestly shocked about because I felt like one of the biggest things that Chanel did, despite price increases, was to also decrease the amount of leather that they put in there. There are actually little poppers on the sides of the bag just in case you want to cinch the bag in, but I think for practicality reasons I just always leave them open. It's pretty structural, so it holds that shape, but lovely little touches of hardware. And if I just quickly turn it over, the only other detail that I think I'm missing from the back at least is a magnetic popper back. Very, very roomy inside. You could definitely fit like an iPad normal size or potentially a mini size in there. And then one of the final features actually that I will show you, which is a godsend, is that this bag has feet. However, having mentioned all of these redeeming qualities about this bag that make it super appealing to buy, I'm sure it might shock some of you at least to know that this wasn't necessarily a bag that I was looking to get, and I hadn't actually seen this bag first myself. And I also realised I haven't mentioned what store I bought this from. I bought this from a place called Okura. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but I'll drop the name down below. It's a store that is based in Osaka, but I do believe they have other shops in Tokyo, as potentially other cities in Japan. I mean, it's a 1 in a million chance that you stumble upon a bag like this. It's the first one that, after it was brought to my attention, that I'd seen from all the stores. I was pretty much getting luxury fatigue at that stage, looking for something that caught my eye. And with that being said, I must give credit to the most wonderfully patient man in my life, my boyfriend, who was the one that actually pointed this bag out after I was trying on a couple of vintage totes. This bag, which was tucked away under a bottom shelf, and he said to me, "What about that one, Mel?" And the lovely sales associate brought that bag out. I was trying on a couple of others as well. I was probably being quite annoying. She told me actually, and I'll put up the picture as well because I did take a picture of the Japanese kind of price tag and everything. They rate their grading conditions very, very strictly. It goes from an S, at least in this shop anyway, which is superb, which is basically mint condition unused, to, I believe it's like a B grade might be the lowest. This one was an S grade, and that's because all the stickers are on. It had its full set, including obviously the care card with the mitt and everything. It also had its box. Obviously it has its dust bag as well. and it's never been used. It's pristine. This is basically brand new. So I thought this was a really weird find because it was the first S quality bag that I'd actually seen in that particular store, and comparing it to the other bags I was trying on, which were obviously very, very pre-loved, they were vintage, your girl just likes new stuff. One day I might see a vintage bag that completely changes my perspective on the videos that I've put up before and vintage shopping. I mean, it is for some people the best thing out there, and I totally understand it, but for me it just didn't, at least the bags that I tried out at the time, sit with me. But this bag really caught my eye for its look, and also the fact that it was basically mint condition. And so that segues quite nicely into me telling you the actual price that I paid for this beauty here. So considering the condition, which is basically mint condition and everything, considering the fact that also I believe, according to the sales associate anyway, and according to some of the research that I've been doing on Vestiaire of people who've been listing the same or similar bags, this bag actually only came out in 2021, so not that long ago, and obviously you can tell by the fact that the authenticity is that kind of like metal bar inside. That's obviously a very new feature that Chanel has been including in their bags only quite recently. So the fact that it is still very, very new in the scheme of things, it actually came to, and this is the also tax-free price, so bearing in mind if you're a foreigner you save 10% off of the listed price. I paid in Japanese yen 498,000, and when I translate that into British pounds, because I've got my receipt right here on my phone, I paid only £3,142.62, and that obviously is predicated on the fact that you are a foreigner, you bring your passport when you shop, but essentially if you don't have all that and you are a local resident, then you would have had to have paid, according to the sticker, the 547,800 Japanese yen, which again is not a crazy amount. I imagine that's probably like £4,000 equivalent or just above, but 3,100 for a Chanel bag, let alone of this size, fully leather, etc., super classic. It's not like one of those garish colours bags or with crazy fabric, right? Like, this is something I can use legitimately till I'm 80. Tell me a place that you can find it. Tell me a place where you can find this, especially in the UK as well. That is almost impossible. And also the fact I learnt after the sale was done, because I snapped this up quick sharp, I learnt in other stores that you can negotiate on price, so I potentially could have got this for even lower, potentially under £3,000 equivalent. So this was a total no-brainer for me. Japan has totally changed the way that I perceive luxury shopping and how I consider luxury to be these days. It doesn't always have to be direct from the Chanel store or from the Louis Vuitton. Luxury is honestly so subjective, and I did feel when I was in that store, felt like very luxurious. I don't feel like I missed out on any part of the Chanel experience. And they were super nice to me, whereas sometimes Chanel employees can be kind of snooty, can't they? Said, I am so happy with my newest handbag baby in my collection. Such a beauty, such a classic, and such a great price. What a steal that I got it for, if I do say so myself, especially given the context of Chanel price increases or price increases across the board. I feel like to get a bag of this size for £3,000, and it's legitimate obviously, because in Japan I think they have very, very high regulations and a no tolerance policy on fakes, and especially with a flagship storefront like Akura, they've got a lot of legitimacy, let's just put it that way. I feel very, very fortunate to have got my hands on this bag. So I think that's probably a good place to end this video. I'll of course throw up some photos and things of me wearing it, because I did, spoiler alert, use this bag almost straight away after I got it, and I cannot wait to continue using it in the city, out and about, and taking it on so many new adventures that it's gonna be on with me. So that is everything that I wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. I hope you found it also interesting if you're going to consider shopping potentially in Japan. Honestly, outside of the shopping, I feel like Japan is such an amazing, unique place to go to. Let me know what your thoughts are on luxury shopping in Japan, if you're going to be going, have you gotten anything good there, any other shops that I should check out in the future if I visit, because I'll probably go back to Japan and probably find another beauty when I'm there too. But anyways, thank you of course for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one.